Okay, yesterday was a snapshot, as you know, anatomy of the sales letter. I'm starting to work out who your ideal customer is by profiling. Now, today's the real serious stuff as to where we start. Today's going to be a long day. By the time we're finished tonight, you will need a beer or two. At least I will. Okay? But what we start off with now is actually crafting your offer. It's very, very critical to know actually what you want to offer your clients based on your product, based on your price, and more importantly, based on what problem you're going to solve by selling that product or service. No point giving them something they don't need. Fairly simple concept to understand, but unless you get that offer right, they don't want to buy. You can get it wrong on a variety of reasons. You can get the price wrong, you can get your bonuses wrong, you can get your actual product or service wrong. But you've got to understand and spend time crafting your offer. For a client in Australia, for a membership site on farming, I spent about 2 weeks on and off crafting her offer. Okay? Yeah, it's a long time to work on crafting the offer, but she had 2 levels and was basically working out what was going to go into her offer. What was she going to offer on? You know, mentoring, DVDs, CDs, interviews, monthly stuff, working it out as to what people would respond to via money. You've all heard of the statement, what's in it for me? Everybody's favourite radio station. Have you heard that one? Okay. Wi-Fi is not something that smells under your arm. That means what's in it for you. The question you have to ask yourself is, if I'm sitting across the desk from you, John Green, you're saying, what's in it for you? Why should I part with money and buy your product? I'm asking you what's in it for me, from my perspective, but you have to actually ask the question as though I'm sitting across from you, get inside my head as your potential prospect and your client, and actually give me what I want and more. So everybody knows, you know, tune into your favourite radio station, what's in it for me, but that is the question you've got to ask yourself, what's in it for you from your prospect's mind. You've got to basically sit across the desk yourself and say, well, why are you going to buy my stuff? What can I do for you that empowers you to give me your credit card and part with money? It's not an easy one to answer, but you have to actually ask that question. Does that make sense? You know, basically your offer is everything. Once you've profiled your customer and you've worked out your offer or offers, once you do that properly and you've really, yeah, that's a great offer, people will buy that with great copy, then basically the rest of your copy flows. You can write your headlines, you can write your whole copy based on what you're going to sell to your end client. If you've got no idea, if it's all fuzzy in your head, how can you honestly then write a compelling piece of copy? You can't. You might be able to fudge it, you might get some sales, but unless your offer is really sizzling, it's irresistible, your copy's going to fail to a point. So what I'd like you to think about now, and that maybe you've got a website up, think about the offer that you currently make, or think about, is that offer really the best thing you can provide to your prospects/clients? Can you add more bonuses to it? Can you change the offer? Can you change the price? Can you change the value in their eyes? Because they want perceived value. So think about for a couple of minutes your current offer to your clients. Is it irresistible? Really? Anyone think right now their offer isn't the best offer they can make? 1, 2. Okay. Why do you think that?
Because what? I haven't thought about it, so it must be not quite as good as it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just sort of not really thought
Put
about
something together.
haphazardly.
Yeah.
There must be improvement there. That's why I think it isn't the best.
Okay, and that's a common problem that people have. But if you're out there with your website or your offline marketing technique and your offer is fairly, you know, it's slapped together, it's haphazard, you know it yourself, what do you think your prospects are going to do when they read your sales letter? doesn't jump out and grab them by the throat, the offer. They're not going to buy, are they? You're going to get a small percentage that will, but the majority of people won't, because the offer just does nothing for them. It's either it's too dear, or you've slapped your offer together, which means the rest of your copy's lazy, it's poor. It's not going to do the job and get the sale. So, what is your actual offer? What is your product?
Well, I've got different offers. I want to offer something different online than I do offline, which I'm currently doing. So, but the offer is one book with 3 bonuses. And
an e-book?
No, offline, the real
book,
products.
okay.
But I'm thinking of maybe making them e-books for the US. You know, but anyway, and then there's like 3 sort of not real products bonuses, like support, and critiques and stuff that aren't, you know, that you don't have to send them. You just
So are those bonuses in reality weak?
possibly, yeah.
Could you sell those bonuses by themselves? Could they stand alone as a product with a bit of copy?
The real products, I could, yeah.
With the bonuses?
Maybe not.
Okay. One thing about bonuses, and I'm sure you've all seen it, we've got all these sales letters where there's like $40,000 worth of bonuses, some of these seminars, and they're all crap. I mean, seriously. Who believes you're going to spend $1,000 going to a seminar, or spending $500, whatever, and you're going to get $40,000 worth of bonuses that you can use? It doesn't work. And what I've seen too many times is people that have been to, say, internet marketing seminars, they've seen the sales letter that's had all those bonuses, like as long as your arm, and they try and model from that, thinking that works. Unfortunately, it doesn't. And you can fail dismally.
I have a comment about bonuses, and seeing as Ted's not here this morning, I'll use his words. If you can't sell it, you can't give it away either.
Yeah.
Which means if that bonus won't stand on its own as a product, then why have it as a bonus? You can't give away useless bonuses because they just don't work. People don't want that anymore. If you're going to have a bonus, it's got to be of value.
Yeah.
So what about
true.
something that wouldn't stand alone but enhances the product?
Okay. It's got to be of value. You don't give a bonus for the sake of giving a bonus. When I wrote the Underachiever sales letter, I said to Ed, I said, what bonuses are we going to give? He said, none. The product is good enough as it is, because what you've got is the older version, the Undies iPack, that's condensed into 2 DVDs, 30 hours and 2 DVDs, and it's interactive, the sales letter I wrote. We end up only offering 3 bonuses, not 23, not 33, not 13, not 8. We offered 3 small bonuses, but they were of good value to complement the main product. But generally, you should be able to offer that bonus by itself, and to be able, or know you can actually sell it. You know in your own mind if you could actually sell that product by itself. Would you? Possibly not, but you've got to understand that whatever the bonus you offer could be sold by itself. I've had people, and this is a trick which takes a bit of time to craft, where the bonus is your product. They don't really care about the main product. The way you do your sales letter, the actual bonus is the reason they whip out their credit card and give you the money. You make the actual bonus so irresistible, they want that, regardless of the main product. In other words, you're really tricking the sales letter. I did that for a client in Australia for a digital photography site, where she had initially an ebook selling for $37.97, and she paid me to do a sales letter makeover. So I went through the ebook, and this is one thing most people don't do with an ebook product or their own product, and I'm betting my left one you don't do it yourself. You've got to go through your product. If it's an ebook, if you've got DVDs, watch your own DVDs, listen to your CDs, really look at your product and extract every ounce of gold, in other words, every benefit out of your own product, and put that into your copy, but also basically work your offer around that. Because what happens when I read a book, she's leaving gold nuggets, are sitting in the book, they're not being exposed into her sales copy. I rewrote the sales letter. It wasn't a complete rewrite, it was a makeover. When I'd finished, she had an additional upsell product that she was going to offer, which she hadn't really offered before. That was now part of the package, but it was the first bonus. By the time I'd done the sales letter, the product was now $77, not $37.97. It's more than double the sale price. Still the same product, but I made the bonus the major focus. People want this for digital photography, but this major bonus over here is really why they're going to buy. I sent the letter through to her and she emailed me, and then we spoke on Skype. She said, why did you do that? Why did you make the bonus and not the major product? I said, because the rest of the sales letter has done its job. People will want your main ebook anyway, but they really want the bonus. So the way I triggered and did psychological triggers in the copy, that when they read what that bonus was, they were going to buy. Okay, that may not be easy to understand at the moment, but if you've got a real major bonus product and you've done the job of your copy, they're already wanting to literally hand over the credit card before they've read the bonus. Then when you tell them what the bonus is, they just go, bang. Okay, that takes time to do, but that's why your bonuses are so important. You don't give rubbish bonuses. If you can't sell it, you know, it's been stated. Don't put it in there. Don't give away a bonus for the sake of giving away a bonus because you've seen it on somebody else's sales letter. When you're actually writing your copy, don't be lazy when you come to that section on bonuses either. People, seriously, they have a decent crack all the way down, get to the guarantees, bonuses, and they just go, oh, I can just be lazy, it's a bonus worth X amount, there's 15 of them, there's 10 of them, there's 5 of them, add value, create a figure. You've got to explain the benefits of your bonus as well. Peter, you like to give a few bullet points in your bonuses, don't you?
Absolutely. About 6
yeah.
per bonus.
You know, you've got to sell that bonus as well. That's the carrot, that's the enticer. That if they act and all the other stuff will go through, but they want the bonuses, you've got to get them to want that bonus. When I first started doing direct mail in Australia, so it was all offline, one of the bonuses I would give is if they were one of the first 27 do my takeaway close, I would give them 14 nights accommodation for 2 people for free. Perceived value by the research company was $3,000. I brought it back to $1,500 to make it more realistic. But if you bought my dearer pack, I want you to buy my low-end pack. If you bought my $1,000 pack, $997, I would give you the holiday. Now, I'd used the thing myself, knew it was good, had clients that had used it. Those booklets cost me $38 to buy. Perceived value, $1,500 minimum. In other words, you've read my sales letter, you want the marketing material, but also, if you act now, you're one of the first 27 by the expiry date, I'm going to give you some free holidays, free accommodation. You'd be amazed at people that would phone me up and say, I want to make sure I qualify for the free holiday. I had a dentist that was away on holidays that came back, got my report, which he'd requested, and the offer had expired. He'd been on holidays. His main concern was that would I give him 2 or 3 more days to read the sales letter properly, but would I still allow him to have the holidays? Of course I would. It's a never-ending 27.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? It's a never-ending 27. Am I going to pass up a $997 sale for the sake of a book that cost me $38? No way. But that was the trigger. He still wanted the stuff, but the bonus was really what he wanted to make sure he got. He didn't want to be 28. His expiry date had expired. It's a never-ending date, really, if you want to make it that way. It's a never-ending number. But the bonus was good. And what you want to understand too, if you're doing offline stuff, in other words, you're delivering a product or a service, you want to try and find low-cost bonuses that have a high perceived value. In other words, like the holiday booklet. It cost me $38, perceived value is a minimum $1,500. If you've ever sold a house, I don't know what it's like here, but like in Australia, no, in the US, if you sell a house, the real estate agent generally might give you a cheap bottle of booze, cheap bottle of wine, a few nibblies. Let's say they spend $25 on you, or £25 for this country. They spend £25, they've given you £25 worth of worth of gifts, right? Why can't you find something that costs you £25 or $25, but the perceived value is 500 or 300 or 1,000? It still costs you 25 as your bonus, but get something that's of high value. Don't go for it. You know, if you go to the movie theatres, what's it cost you to go to the movies? To watch a movie? £5. It's only ever worth £5, isn't it? Okay, so you give away 2 movie tickets, cost you £10. Why can't you find something as a bonus that still costs you £10 that's worth 100? That may be worth 150, maybe worth 200. You've got to look at your bonuses differently and offer something that's really, really perceived value. It still costs you the same amount of money, but I can't stress that enough. You've got to offer perceived value. Is that pretty clear? Any questions on that?
Have you got any resources for finding good bonus ideas like that?
Me personally, no, but I mean, you start surfing the net, and there are places that, you know, particularly out of China, you can go and buy your digital cameras, your watches, all that stuff fairly cheap.
Trevor, I have a real preference when it comes to finding bonuses. I really think your bonuses should be unique, completely different to what anybody else is offering, and that's why I don't really like going for these resell rights and licenses to products, because everybody else has got the same. You're just offering the same as what somebody else has got. I'm passionate about the public domain. You dig deep enough into the public domain, you will find a bonus on just about anything under the sun. There are millions and millions of resources. All you've got to do is dig and find. All my bonuses for all my products are completely unique. Nobody else has got them. Just me.
Yeah.
And that's the way, personally, that's the way I like it. And there's no reason why you can't do the same. Anybody can't do the same. There's nothing worse than offering a bonus that they've seen somewhere else before. There's absolutely no value in that whatsoever. As Trevor says, you can make the bonus the focus of your site, not the main product. But make it unique, definitely.
And on that, Pete, and that's a valid point. If you've got resale rights to a product where it's got existing product and bonuses, right, and you can't change the offer, so to speak, you can then find additional bonuses to make yourself unique, make yourself stand out. They won't get anywhere else. You know, when I bought the Dan Kennedy license many years ago, there was like 35 products, and it came with copy written, but I created my own package out of that. I didn't want somebody else sending away for somebody else's free report getting the same offer that I was sending. They were lazy. They said, oh, this is a sales letter for magnetic marketing. It's got XYZ bonuses. I'm going to send that. Boom. No, I made my own package out of it. So that therefore, when people bought it, they were buying me. The testimonials they gave were to me, not to Dan Kennedy, even though I had the rights to use his testimonials on the license. But I created my own package with additional bonuses, additional services. So, you know, your offer is everything. So, you know, think about for a few minutes now really what you offer. Write it down. If you know what your product is that you offer, write down what it is and what you sell it for. And think about really, is that the best offer you can make? So a few minutes to do that.
Trevor, would it help if the bonus had potential to be a good back-end item down the road?
No, I wouldn't do that.
No.
No. If that's an additional sale, why are you offering it as a bonus now? Why would you do that?
Create a back-end for the future.
But you're offering it, you're saying you don't want to do it as a bonus.
That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, no, I mean, think of something else. If it's good enough to be sold by itself, which obviously it should be, it's a potential sale down the track, don't give it away now. Find something else.
Well, that brings us on to another point, doesn't it? You should never start a project without a back end in mind.
Yeah.
Never, never, never. So whatever your project idea is, you must have a back end product in the back of your mind. Otherwise, don't do it.
A lot of people do just have one product. There's no back end.
Yeah, the main point is you are never going to make a fortune on the front end if it's, say, for example, a $37 ebook. You're never going to make a lot of money out of that unless you sell millions of copies, which is unlikely. But the money is in the back end.
But there'll be a back-end product, as Peter said, like in public domain, etc. But you've got to dig and you've got to delve in to see what's around, see what you can offer, you know. Bonuses are one thing that generally most people are lazy from. You start looking at actual sales letters when you get out of here and look at their offers and see what they offer as bonuses, and you'd be surprised how lazy people get. They put up, a lot of people don't even put a value on their bonuses. If you don't put a value on your bonuses, nobody else will. That's pretty clear in my mind. Is it clear in yours? You've got to put a value on your bonuses.
In fact, Trevor, there's a very good reason why we're doing the offer now before we go into headlines. And the reason is your offer is the most important part of your sales copy.
Yeah.
If you don't have an irresistible offer, you ain't got nothing.
The rest is not going to flow. You may do an okay job, but you won't do the best job with your copy. You've got to know what you're going to give people when they part with their cash.
In other words, if you have an irresistible offer, it makes writing the sales copy so much easier because you're passionate, you know what they're getting, you can't get the words out fast enough, really.
Yeah. When I sat there for basically 2 weeks on and off crafting that offer for my clients, that was based on asking questions and, what can you offer, what types of things can we add in there, and just sitting there and just nutting out a deal, but not just on one level, on 2 levels, and to get what you was offering, get the trigger points here, okay, on a low end, say on a A package, but on the B package, irresistible, that people are going to part with more money per month. And, it did take basically on and off 2 weeks to do. Back and forth, asking questions, just sit there mulling over the numbers going, well, yeah, could you realistically, with that one part of a membership site, honestly, with that value, sell it by itself? Or would people just go, yep, well, that's worth it? So you've got to put time into your offer. Don't just be lazy. That's the book.
There's a really good book about the irresistible offer. Has anybody read this book? Anybody seen this book?
He sent it to me. Yes.
For the people that booked really early for this workshop, they got a copy of this.
Yeah.
But for the late bookings, they didn't. But it is available on Amazon, and it's a really amazing book. I would recommend everybody gets that. Who's the author? Peter? Oh no, Mark Joyner.
Yeah, basically, by the time you've worked out your offer, you want the person reading your copy to go, I can't do without that, I want it now. You've got to make it, like a kid in a lolly shop. I want the lolly. I want the candy, and I want it now. Don't rip yourself off by not spending time working out your offer. And you'll be doing that very soon, so I really want you to start thinking about what your current offer is, or if you're doing a new product, effectively like Diane is, who still tried to get out of her topic this morning, and I smacked her down politely. You may laugh. You've got to work out what the heck it is you're going to make it. Give me your money now. Why should I give you my credit card if I'm looking at your website? If I'm your ideal prospect, if you've profiled me correctly, what is so good about your offer that I can't get at your competitor's website? And why should I part with the loot right now? Why should I not click off your website and surf and find a competitor and see what they offer? Part of when you're doing your offers, you should be checking out your competition's websites or their offline business. What are they offering for the money? Find out. Do your research. Again, don't be lazy.
Here's a question. How many people got the email, well, you all got the email, so don't kid me on that one, about doing competitive analysis? How many people set up the spreadsheet? Hands, please. That's not everybody.
Ring no bells at all.
No, well,
The lights are on, nobody's home with John this morning. How many beers do you have
I was
last night?
trying to think of a quip there, John, but I couldn't quite think of one. You should have got the email about doing competitive analysis. It's essential.
Well, I opened every one I got, and that one rings absolutely no bells whatsoever.
Then, if there are other people that never got it, then do come and see me and I'll give you the email.
I'm going to check tonight, David, whether
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Because basically, you should have done it, and it's so important.
Yeah. Basically, and that brings back to really due diligence. I mean, if you've got a product in mind, if whether it's a new product or it's an existing product that you've got, have you or did you do your due diligence on your market to make sure they really do want that? We can all get passionate about stuff that we think's a great idea.
Yeah, I've got
Unless you
a
do the
book full of
research,
ideas. Yeah.
know that they will part money for that product or service, you may have to scrap it, which is a hard thing to do.
But one of the other benefits of doing your competitive analysis, you set up a spreadsheet, you look at, say, 10 competitors that are in the same field as you, find out what they're doing, what is their offer, what is their guarantee, what is their price, what is their USP, and you put them all in a spreadsheet so that you can see them at a glance, and then you say, how can I be better than all of these guys? How can I offer better value? How can I make my offer so irresistible? And that will give you the edge, because you know you're better than everybody else if you do that. It's very simple. Yes, it takes a bit of time, but you're all here because you want to write good copy. You will not write good copy if you don't do the research and everything that Trevor is telling you this week. It just won't happen. You have got to put the work in.
The one thing we haven't said so far, and we won't say it, is it's not easy. We don't say slap up a website and the money's going to roll in overnight. We're not like that. You've actually got to do hard work. It's not 2 hours a day.
But that's another point, though, isn't it? People think slap up a website and that's me done, I'm on to the next one.
Yeah.
They are so wrong. It's not just a case. Slapping up the website is the easy bit. Getting the sales copy is the clever bit.
Yeah. And that comes from doing the research. Now, when I start to do an offer myself, before I look at pricing, I work out, okay, what is going to be in this package? What can I offer? What are the products going to be for myself or for a client? What are you going to offer? If it's an existing sales letter, I look at their sales letter, look at their product, look at their bonuses, and say, what else can you offer here? Anything else you've got up your sleeve, I can add value to make this an irresistible offer. Like with the photography lady. You know, I mean, time and time again, I've looked at somebody's product / an ebook. A guy some years ago was selling a $49 product via ebook. And by the time I'd gone through his actual ebook and pulled out more nuggets of gold, strengthened the sales letter, adjusted the offer, the sale price was $97. Same product, changed the copy, changed the offer, doubled the price practically. Now his sales doubled as well as his sale price doubling. His click-through rate on pay-per-click went up, I quote 800%, but it was closer to 1,000. And I added one word to his headline on his pay-per-click.
Trevor, can you explain typically what a good offer is? For anybody here that's struggling to get their offer down on paper, can you give them some help? Because this is so important. It's not really worth moving on to the next section until they get this right.
Well, we'll start going through the questions which will help that, but it's generally, if you know who your ideal prospect is, you've just got to make that offer so they've got to grab it, they've got to have it, they've got to have it now. So I don't know what your product or service is as part of your offer, but understand this, this is why this is so important. What's in it for you? When your prospect is reading your copy, why are they just going to whip out their card now? What can you make so irresistible they can't refuse it? They've got to have it. Or can they go, yeah, well, I'll look at it later. It's not that great. I'm going to have a cup of tea. No. I want it now. It's what your offer has to be. In all honesty, the offer you make now Would I want to just jump out and grab it if I was a prospect? Or could I leave it till next week or next month or next year because it's not that great? Be brutally honest with yourself. And any product or service you offer right now, is it that sensational? I want to give you money now if I was your prospect. If not, go back to the drawing board.
So you can build the price of your bonus into the price of the actual product.
Sorry?
The idea, I suppose, is to build the price of your bonus item into the price of the product.
You basically, yeah, this is what I do. Let's say you take your 3x5 inch cards as an example, write down just one part of your offer, if it's your product, on that, then your bonuses. Once you work out, yeah, I want to offer that, I really wanted to buy this package, then you start looking at your pricing. And yes, if there's a cost to your bonus, factor that in, of course. But it's got to be so great that anyone goes to your website or reads your, offline direct mail piece, they can't put that item down or they can't leave that website until they've paid for your product or your service. Anything to add on that, Peter?
No. The only thing I'd like to add is the fact that this is probably the most important exercise you're going to do the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Get your offer right,
You've got to
and
think
the
about
sales copy will write itself.
If you go to your section on the offers, you'll start to see there's 9 questions you can ask about your offer. Okay, which I'll start bringing up. Does your product or service solve your customer's problem? If it doesn't, they're not going to buy it. Really think about what you're offering right now or what you're going to offer. Does it solve their problem? Not, oh, I think it does. Will it? Does it? Make sure it will. When I'm selling my marketing stuff, I know for a fact that if people listen to the CDs, watch the DVDs and they apply it, they will explode their sales. And I've got the proof to back that up. But I know that.
I like your point number 8. Yeah.
Which is what? I'm not down there yet, am I?
No, I'm just saying I like it.
Yeah. Are you offering bonuses that are as useless as tits on a bull? Yeah. Because too many people do that. Don't see many bulls wearing bras, do you? Okay. My favourite saying, snakeoilsellingscumbags.com. Too many people out there are snake oil sellers. Don't be one yourself. Think of really, last night was profiling your customer. Now you may not be totally clear on really who your ideal customer is, but you should have a good idea. With what you currently offer in this point in time, does it solve their number one problem as to why they would part with money in the first place? If it doesn't, your offer is weak. You've got to address it, and you've got to address it now. You've got your questions there. Okay? Again, are your bonuses genuine? We've covered that. Could your bonuses be sold as a standalone item for the value you put on them in all reality? Now, on my Magic Word Sell site, when you go through the name squeeze, it's a copywriting made easy ebook. I put a value at $77 on that. I could sell that with a decent piece of copy because the information in there is of value. It's just not a freebie giveaway for the hell of it. The content is legit. People can actually take that and have taken that ebook, applied it and made money. So, you know, Peter, I think we've had this discussion before on Long Lost Marketing Secrets with what it's sold for. You know, the value on that it's $47. You've been selling it for?
37.
37. See, I sell it for 47, and I want to put it up to 97.
Good luck.
No, not good luck at all. It'll sell at 97. See, Peter's sceptical on this is a good scenario, that people won't pay X amount for ebooks to a degree, correct?
No, there is a ceiling on digitally downloaded products, and probably 97 is the maximum.
Yeah. But when I can take, say, like the digital photography ebook and go from 37 to 77, in that market, the reason we can sell it for 77 is because they've done the work on the copy.
Trevor, are you selling in dollars?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
So it's half anyway.
well, it's half, but the thing is, okay, don't limit yourself just to the UK market. That's a mentality that will bite you on the backside.
Yeah, but if I saw like-for-like products, one was 37 and I back calculated the other one and the other one was 39, I'd go 37.
You probably won't find a lot of people that are online selling it in pounds.
Okay, do you sell in pounds?
No.
Dollars?
Dollars is the international currency of the internet.
So
You-
like-for-like?
Always dollars.
You
There's a swinging difference between them,
Yeah.
identical products.
Yeah, but people accept that. People realise that you're selling in dollars, and
Yeah.
Interesting.
they might do the mental calculation, which is obviously what you're doing. But
You can still
dollars
do it.
every
It's half.
time.
It's only cost me 37.
There's a trick there then. So if you ran your products here in this room in US dollars, and you didn't really know what the ceiling was, you could run an identical product and just mark it up higher.
yeah,
Which is exactly what you're doing. You've got the same product here, haven't you? And you're knocking it out at 97, you're at 37.
no, it's my product.
It's his product. I've got the rights to it.
Oh, but it's the same when you would receive it, yeah? if I ordered yours and got yours, and I ordered yours and got yours, it'd be identical, yeah?
Identical.
Identical, but I'm paying 97 for you and 37 for you. So if we...
But I'm better looking, so.
So,
But it's my picture that's on the website.
Yeah, I know. We'll change that. I'll give you the revised sales of it.
I'm just interested in how you test the price, and that's all.
But this part of the test, I sent an offer to my list a while ago, said I'm putting the price up. And if you want the 47 price, get it now.
Right, okay.
And I will put the price up to test. It may not work, but I'm pretty sure it will.
But that's an interesting point that Wayne's brought up.
Yeah.
Dollars or pounds. If you're selling purely to the UK market, then yes, I would put it in pounds. But generally you're not. Certainly with ebooks, you're selling to the whole world, which means 90% US. So US dollars every time, no question.
You had a question, Richard?
Oh yeah, you just have one bonus as long as it's powerful, really.
Test it by all means. You'd want to be very good. If you can't find any other bonuses for the, that add value, well then test your one. But if you do your research, you'll always find more than one bonus, regardless of what it is.
It's okay to have no bonus if your offer is, your main item
It
is
just blows
so
them
good.
away.
But we're talking about creating an irresistible offer. An irresistible offer means adding value.
I've at times in the actual PS, it's an unannounced bonus on top of everything else. And they read the PS as an additional bonus if they're one of the first 27 who buys Madeira package. They don't get it for the low end pack. But again, it's another good bonus. So do your research, you'll always find more than one bonus. But yeah, you can test with zero.
I can have one to that actually, but so what would you say is maximum?
Number of bonuses.
5-ish.
If you can offer 10 that are sensational, do it.
Right. But then you sort of,
I wouldn't go higher than 4.
you sort of taking away the value from the main product, right? But
If you've got too many bonuses, right, then you should have an AB offer.
yeah.
Okay?
What, this package or this package?
Yeah. But you load your bonuses to the DIRA package. It's a trigger point to get them to upsell. So you've really got, say, sort of 15 minutes now. I want you to start working out what your offer is.
What's your offer, Dale?
Because this is going to, because after that we start doing bullets. So you've got some space there if you need more. You've got your notepad. Start writing down what your actual offer is, what your bonuses are, and really think about, is that irresistible to your market? You're getting Skyped, Peter. So think about this, you know, what's in it for you from your prospect's mind? They want to know why they should part with money to buy your offer as opposed to going to your competition. Why should they do it? Why should they give you a credit card right now?
If you have a unique product, is there still an obligation to put in a bonus item, or could you make a play of there is no...
You don't have to do a bonus. But predominantly, if you can add one, it's even more irresistible.
A nice little technique is to say, I suppose you're expecting a bonus right now. Well, there isn't one. You could put that.
Yeah. You take the workshop for the people that got in early, there was a lot of bonuses there, wasn't there? The carrot was every week we'd send you a bonus. It's an incentive to get you to sign up. The bonuses you've got have been good bonuses. You can actually, they are of value, and they have and do get sold by themselves. They're not rubbish bonuses. You're still going to come to the workshop anyway. We make sure you get additional bonuses. What happened last night? Some bonuses given out, wasn't there? That's off camera. There was bonuses given out that you weren't expecting. Some of you got them. Some of you may get them today, depending how good you were. That's all part of the deal. Think about all that. So start detailing what you currently offer. Don't worry about the value at this point in time. Just write it down. Knowing in your own mind what you currently sell your product or service for. And think about, is there something you've got up your sleeve that you can offer as an unannounced bonus? In other words, when they read your piece of copy, you've done the right thing with your headline, the body copy, etc., and your guarantee. You've detailed your offer and put a price on it with your bonuses. Do you have something else up your sleeve that when they get to the PS, it's an additional incentive to act now? You may not have one, but do you have one? I know you can find one. You finished, Diane? What? As she puts a lolly into her mouth. Anyone struggling on their offer at this point in time? You are, John?
Yep.
Why?
I've never even given bonuses a thought until you mentioned them before. And I've spent all this time, I think I've come up with 3. I don't think I need any more. So yeah, struggling in the sense I've got as far as bonuses and no more.
With your site, you've got a lot of content there. You've got a lot of stuff in that you could offer as bonuses. You mean for your new book?
Yeah. I've got a book that I want to write on this weekend. But,
Yeah.
I've never even given bonuses a thought, as I say, up to now. And, but yeah, I think I've come up with 3.
Well, one of your bonuses could be like a 30-day trial to your site.
Yeah, that's fair comment.
Okay? Which after 30 days, bang, it's off. You're giving them a test and a teaser of your membership site. And there'll be a percentage over time. You see a certain number of people actually want to sign up. So what you do there is you set up like a subscription with a 0 dollar value first payment, but they go actually onto your membership. After 30 days it expires or the credit card gets charged. You know, if they don't cancel it, yeah, they're on.
Yeah, we've got something like that in any case. But yeah, simple as that.
But that as a bonus to that book will blow them away. Anybody else struggling? Not quite sure?
Tell you what I was at the start, but then once you sort of start thinking about it, it starts to come.
Yeah, well, this is critical. I mean, seriously, the rest of the weekend is going to really be based on how well you work your offer out right now. Get it wrong and stuff it up now, your copy's going to be crap, and that's being polite.
How long have I got? About 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10, 15, we're fine.
As long as it takes, because as you say,
Yeah.
this is so important.
Also, I mean, the next section is on bullets, so you can still be mulling over in your head, but you've got to understand what you want people to buy from you.
So if it's a real product, you could incorporate free shipping. You have to go for the beer package and...
Yeah, it could be free shipping, it could be, you know, instead of buying one, you know, get two for this price. I mean, the good part about with physical products where you're not so much internet, you know, based, more business based, is your competition doesn't do it. You want to create your offer that's so, in your competition's eyes, so dumb, so stupid to think you'd go out of business by doing it. I think, oh, he's nuts, he's going to go broke. Yep, good, think that way, I'm going to make the money, you're not. One of my proteges who couldn't be here this weekend, Everett, he sells services basically. It's a critter business, removing raccoons and snakes and animals basically from people's ceilings. He's shaking his head. And basically after buying my package, which is a Judgment Day package, and looking at guarantees and offers, he went to the people that currently referred business and sent out a letter which basically said, if you refer us X amount of business, we're going to give away a brand new truck worth $25,000. In other words, refer us more business, we're going to give you a nice, shiny new truck.
Trevor, you've mentioned your Judgment Day package quite a few times. Could you tell us what that is?
Soon.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, the offer was so irresistible, they started referring more business. Within the first month, by his own words, I've never seen his bank statement, so I can't verify this, they had an extra $100,000 in profit based on the offer. That's not gross profit, that was net profit.
Is that referral stuff you're talking about?
Yeah, saying, hey, well, you can't only refer business, but if you refer us more and working out the offer again, someone's going to win a brand new truck. His competition did think he was nuts, laughed at him, thought he would go broke, but who's smiling now? Same guy wrote an advert, didn't send it to me to critique, wanted to test it first, wanted to test his skills. Ran the advert. When he got the proof back before it ran, the newspaper lady said, well, that's got too many words in it. That won't work, that won't pull. And he said, no, Trevor said it'll work. And his response to that was just over 700% return on investment. Before I tweaked the headline. And then I tweaked the headline. And I basically, what was the headline? Stops raccoons having sex in his ceiling was the headline. Now that actual headline made it to David Letterman's show in America. Sorry? Spoil sport, yeah. Well, but it creates a visual, and that's, you know, particularly with women. Oh, these animals are having sex in my ceiling. Get them out. But also evokes curiosity. And really all I want to do is come around and inspect your ceiling. Okay? But your offer is so paramount. Can you make such an irresistible offer your competition thinks you are nuts? That you would have to go broke with that offer. Let them think it, because they're so dumb they wouldn't do it. Has that got you thinking? Do we want to do that one now? JD? I think we should. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to tell them about it?
No.
Oh.
No secret squirrel stuff going on here.
Okay, Judgment Day, very simply, is the one-day seminar I did in Australia a couple of years ago, which was probably half the day I was on copywriting, the other half was on direct response, direct mail. Now, most of my testimonials from my clients are from people who've got that. Everett, in his case, he'd say he'd take me to bed every night and I'd go, hang on, whoa. He actually took my audios. He's never watched the DVDs, this guy. Took the audios, put them on MP3, put the speakers in on fast forward, and subliminally listened to my drony voice when he'd go to bed, much to his wife's disgust. But it would sink in. So it's basic, it's simple stuff. Nothing is new. I don't reinvent the wheel, but I can explain it in a simple format that you can understand and apply. So basically what we're going to give you, I sell this pack normally for $9.97 US. We're giving it to you as a bonus. Okay? There's 5 DVDs. You look at my handsome face for 5 hours when I had hair. I actually was shaved then. The audios and some other bonuses as well on that 6th CD. Okay? But listen to it via the audios, watch the DVDs and apply, because on the last day we cover basically direct response, mail order, yellow pages, newspaper in some detail, but it's very in-depth on there. Because you've got to understand this, if you are not doing offline marketing, if you're not actually understanding direct mail and want to be online, you will fail to a certain degree. As I said yesterday, the internet is just a medium for you to use, but you've got to apply direct response techniques. If you don't, you will leave money on the table. Look, in your case, with what you do, perfect, direct mail, the way you do it, the way you word it, will really set you apart from your competition. At the end of the day, understand this one fact, and I mentioned this to you yesterday, John. People buy or make a decision based on emotion. If they're a manager, they're an IT manager, they're a CEO, they're a policeman, they're whatever. At the end of the day, a decision is made based on, there's an emotional element attached to that decision. They'll look at all the facts first, but there's a gut feel and emotion that comes into them saying yes or no. You've got to find out what that is. Whether you're a policeman, fireman, pole dancer, whatever you are, whether you're John Wiggum as a cross-stitch man, when you get into the shower, you generally get in naked, correct? Unless you're drunk and forgot to take your clothes off, right? It's only when you put your clothes on, or you put your uniform on, or you get dressed for work, that you actually take on that persona. But at the end of the day, you'll make a decision based on emotion. Look at the facts, sure. But there's an emotional decision as to why you've bought something. There's an emotional decision as to why you're at this seminar right now. You've looked at the facts, you've looked at the sales letter, but something triggered in your brain emotionally that said, yes, I'm going to be here. And your prospects are doing exactly the same. Understand they're just a person. Even if you're targeting, in your case, like managers, etc., etc., it's still a person. They've still got stuff they've got to do to make that decision. But at the end of the day, there'll be an emotional reason why they go, yes, I've got to do this. You've got to find out what that emotional trigger is. And part of that will be in your offer. Give them out.
Only for those that have completed their offer, I'm afraid. So.
Diane doesn't get one. So really finish that off now. What are you offering? What's it worth? Put a value beside each product or service now, if you haven't done it already. Total it in your head and work out what you're going to sell it for, or what you're currently selling it for.
Get each person to decide what their offer is and
Yeah.
what will offer improvements.
Yeah. You finished, Diane? Come on. Otherwise you'll have to sit down in the front.
I don't know how to assess the value, Trevor.
Sorry?
I don't know how to assess the value.
Okay. If you don't know how to assess the value, how can you sell it? I mean, what do you offer at the moment?
It's an e-book.
What sort of ebook?
It's how to find a nanny.
How to find a nanny?
Yeah. People who are either in this country or coming, it's coming from Australia, States, wherever.
Okay, so there's obviously, or there's a market there for that.
Yeah.
So what do you currently sell it for?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
Okay, so typically you're going to be around your 37 anyway.
Yeah.
37, maybe 47.
Okay.
If it's at 47, what else can you offer as a bonus that go, yeah, what's worth 47?
Well, what I'm offering within the book, I talk about things like, how to find the right person with writing out a person's spec and a job description. And so I'm offering contracts, I'm offering forms, pro forma forms as a pack that they can just print off and fill them in to make it easier for them.
Okay. Well, I mean, start off with a figure. Let's say 37 for now. Okay. But also, I mean, is it the type of effectively product that will have upgrades down the track? Will information need to be revised to be up to date?
To a degree, legally the contract would have to be looked at from time to time.
Okay, so therefore one of your bonuses could be lifetime upgrades.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's good.
Just put a value. There's nothing worse than buying effectively, like an e-book where in 6 months' time the information's out of date, you don't get the upgrade. Or software that's constantly needs to be upgraded and you don't get it. Therefore, the people that offer that as one of the bonuses, it's a value.
Well, I was going to give another bonus of links to various agencies and,
Like a resource guide type thing, yeah, that's good.
So that could be upgraded as well. That would have to be updated, wouldn't it?
So, as a sideline, are there some e-books out there to do with kids that you can offer as a bonus as well if you get the right stuff?
Well, I was going to try and use those as a sort of a back-end thing later on.
Okay, but for now, it's only good as a back-end if they buy your product in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can offer one of them now.
Right. You will find there's a lot of products you can still offer as a back-end. But right now, wanting nanny services, why? Look after children. So what can you offer the kids? Go up that angle as a bonus. Buy the book now, your kids get this. Your kids get that.
Free candy.
Rot your teeth. But so it's like an associated bonus that their children are going to get something from as well.
Babies.
This is Doubtfire CD or DVD.
That'll be Peter Twist dressed up. Oh, sorry, that's on film, isn't it? Good. Anyone else got any questions on your offer? Because it is critical to get this offer right now.
My question is the scope of the offer. It's difficult to determine how much to offer in terms of the service.
Mm-hmm. At the moment, Diane, what do you have down? What would you like to offer?
At the moment, I've written down two separate things. I've got a product, which is the e-commerce system,
Yeah.
and the services, the associate services, which I offer. or I'm asked for often, and that ranges from creating the website and the customer product to the technical setup of the system, the autoresponders and the products and so on within the system. And then there's the consulting and the entire e-commerce and marketing for that business. So what I thought the offer would be is the setup of the products, the payment processing, and the marketing tools, i.e. an autoresponder series and broadcasts. But it's difficult to determine the scope of how much to offer.
Well, then you realistically need definitely an AB.
Yeah, tiered approach to
the low end stuff to get them in, but realistically, the dearer end is what you want to sell.
Yeah.
At the same time, you've got to work out if you're offering your services, make sure that your time you're well and truly getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So your scope is realistically okay. If I get a sale of this particular product or service in your case, right, with the money I'm getting for that, knowing I've got to put time in, am I getting value for myself as well as my client getting value? In other words, you may have to pull back some of those offers. They still sign up anyway, but from there they can upgrade to dearer stuff. It's like, it's like buying a $197 product, which has got great information, but realistically the $2,000 product is really the stuff they need. And that's what you've got at the moment.
Yeah.
Offer the basics, but offer plenty of value to get them on board. Do a couple of things for them that will blow them away that they're struggling with, and then you can upsell with back-end products for lifetime value later on, the real dear stuff. Does that help you?
Yeah.
Okay. You finished your offer, James?
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of. What's sort of?
I'm just, in my head I'm thinking about perceived value. I'm trying to make sure that obviously that's as high as it can possibly be.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about taking it too far and selling myself short with the things that I'm offering.
Which is basically what Diane's just said, yeah. You don't want to sell yourself too short. If you're offering time, effectively, you're still swapping time for money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's
Like with my packages, generally for the delivered product, I'll do 1 or 2 critiques depending on the package. And sometimes, even for the download, I'll offer a mentoring session, which is an hour of my time. This is the way I look at it. Now, you can offer certificates for mentoring, coaching, critiques, whatever. A lot of people don't take you up on those, but they're great to add in as true bonuses and true value. And you'll be in the same situation here as well, Diane. But know that the people that do take you up on those bonuses, you're going to convert a lot to part with more money. I know if somebody uses a critique, or somebody uses the mentoring session, I know my numbers as to who becomes a more paying client. I don't do it for the sake of doing it. I do it to add value, of course, and if nothing else happens, that's fine. I've provided the value. But I also know from my own testing that particular service that may cost me an hour of my time now, which I'm not getting paid for. If I sell a $197 product and offer a bonus for a 1-hour session, which I would normally charge, X amount of dollars for, I may lose out with that particular client. If I do it, but I also know the numbers on leveraging long term, they may turn into a paid copy job, they become a mastermind member, whatever. So when you're doing that offer, when you're thinking about what you do offer and what you include, understand this, that if you, let's say in your case it's both of you, it's a 1-hour session to mentor your clients on the phone and really find out what they're about. You put a value on that. There'll be a certain percentage that will say, hey, I want to give you more money.
Yeah. Trevor, can we quickly go around and do you want to change your take?
Yeah, I'll do it with you around.
Yeah, if we can go around and ask people what their offers are.
Okay.
This is so important
Yeah.
for what comes later.
Who's actually finished? Who thinks they've finished their offer? John? You want to start?
Yeah. Well, the product is the training video. Right decks. First bonus is another free training video related to the first one, which I can give away for free.
How long are these videos?
They vary, but
60 minutes, 90 minutes, 3 hours,
6 hours.
6 hours.
Well, the bonus one is probably about 2 hours. The main one is about 6.
So it's all one video, or a couple of videos.
It's a sort of mini website, and you can select all separate videos.
So they're all download?
No, they get the whole lot, and they like either run it off a CD or host it themselves.
Okay. So what's the value of that? What are you selling that for? What do you want to sell it for?
About $200.
Peter, can you come up the front for this, please?
Sure.
Just $200. £200.
$10.
$200. Okay. Gut feel without even knowing it's too cheap.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you sell it for $1,000? Decent copy. $5.97. One of your problems can be, particularly targeting like businesses and managerial, it's too cheap. It's got to be crap in their eyes. And at dinner last night I was explaining how, when I started doing finance investigation in my banking days, I would charge $750 for that report. And it was very in-depth. I'd go into somebody's business, look at their financials, look at the security the bank had, and I would tell them what they're worth in the marketplace. When I upped that figure to $1,500, I got a better response. Same report, same work. My then business partner and we basically broke the business up over this one. I wanted to charge $3,000, and I did. I got a better response because the perceived value for, let's say, that's the report. $3,000, they could see the value. $750, they couldn't. What am I going to get for $750? You're offering all those videos for $200. You're selling yourself short, I think. You can get your price too low and stuff yourself right up.
And we are talking dollars or pounds?
Dollars.
Right.
Yeah, I have put the price up once already. There's some Dan Kennedy stuff. You put it up to where you feel it's a bit uncomfortable, then put it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. But,
I would put it up. Seriously, I would put it up higher.
Yeah.
You create the copy for it as long as you explain what they're getting. And they're getting 6 hours, like it's a training video. What can you do for their business if they follow what's on the video? What can you do? Seriously, what can you do for them? What's the impact on their bottom line of their systems?
Well, these incredibly expensive systems they're buying from Microsoft work properly and don't break. They can
Okay, so what are they spending on those systems?
Yeah, millions. Yeah.
So, okay, they're spending millions. 200 is like two pence in their eyes. Seriously. That's my gut feel.
Yeah, I think you're
You're
right.
selling yourself too short.
Yeah. Mind you, that's for one license.
Yeah.
So if they've got 20 people, they pay that times 200 times 20. But even so, I think you're probably right.
Yeah. You look at who you're selling to and what they're already buying, these expensive systems. They're spending millions that you know of. You're offering something that's just like, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Okay.
Put the price up big time. So what else are you offering?
So the first bonus is another training video, a smaller one, which is sort of slightly related, which will help their people too understand a new sort of product that's just come out. Free upgrade. The next bonus is free upgrades for that product. So extra videos that we create, we add them to the original. Then the third bonus is a free book about the product. There are several books written in the market, and they're about $35. So I can give that as a free bonus. And then the unannounced bonus in the PS would be a 1 hour's phone consultancy. So you've got any issues?
Value of X, what's the value?
About $200, $300.
Okay, in 1 hour, if you're talking to an IT manager in 1 hour, of serious talking, how much value could you add to their business?
Yeah, a lot.
So why isn't it 500? Why isn't it 1,000?
Well, because there's a known rate for what the guys like me can charge.
But you're not normal.
Just to think of
Okay.
You have to say that either way.
But at the same time, you've got to be realistic as well.
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely.
But you could put a higher value on that. It's a free bonus.
Yeah, it's like design tips and those sort of things, which
Yeah,
are pretty
you
high
know.
level.
As long as you explain in your copy what the bonus really is and what you can do, you can look at the pricing of that. But definitely your actual, what you're selling it for per license, to me, gut feel, is too cheap. You're selling yourself too short, and people may be reading roughly go, no,
How can that be any good?
yeah, what can this possibly do? It's junk. It's like going to the dollar shop. Okay,
Okay, yeah, thanks.
does that help?
And also what you need to do, you've got a good offer there, but now you need to put that into words because that's going to be part of your sales copy. So the object of this particular module is to get the offer right, but get the wording right, because when we come to the very end, you want to put your sales letter together, you want it to read well as well.
Yeah.
So as we do each module, there's going to be an exercise at the end of each one, so that when it comes to putting it all together, you've basically got it all there.
That's the only way you're going to be able to end on Sunday with your copy done. So even if it means, you know, when the sessions are over, or, you know, late at night or first thing in the morning, you may have to fine-tune some of these sections to really get it right for the last day. But your offer is critical for sure.
It starts here, in other words. The next module we're going to be doing bullets, then we're going to be doing headlines, and piece by piece you're going to all have a sales letter.
It's a blueprint.
The more you get it right now, the better it will be when it comes to editing. So spend time. I know we haven't got a lot of time because we've already overrun, but you must get your offer right. Chris, have you got an offer?
Yes, my offer's on an ebook to slow the age-related process using diet.
You've been listening to Ted.
Well, Ted's pretty passionate about that anyway.
He certainly is, yeah.
And that's, you know, he's in incredible condition for his age.
Yeah, it doesn't,
That's more like a personal
doesn't look
quest.
107, does it?
Not of you.
It's in ebook format at the moment, and I'd probably offer a related bonus ebook from the public domain like we were discussing last night.
Sure.
I also feel, actually thinking about it, it doesn't need to be an ebook, it could be recorded as an audio,
Absolutely.
or audio as a complement.
Now, I don't know anybody that does voiceovers, but
Yeah.
Peter, do you know anybody?
Anybody that's good.
Well, that's really what I meant. Yeah.
Peter Twist good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Charged
that
like a
would make
wounded
it
fool,
more-
but he's good.
obviously a more tangible product if you want to offer it in physical format or downloadable.
Audio format is good. Good idea.
Yeah, because I thought as an ebook, as you say, there is perception on price depending on what you think the value to be, but as audio, either downloadable or tangible on a CD.
But it's back to what we mentioned earlier. If you're going to get something from the public domain, for example,
Yeah.
you can take that, you can modify it, you've got a unique
Yeah.
product, and that is important.
That's the
very
difference.
important.
Yeah, but I could modify something from the public domain.
As much as you like.
Yeah.
James,
Yeah, I found this a bit of a struggle, to be honest. I thought I had...
so do we. How about that? Honestly.
It is, yeah.
I feel
It's
like,
not a
it's
5-minute
not-
job.
Yeah, as you said, you know, you spent 2 weeks sorting out an offer, and I can see why. I came here with an impression of what I was going to charge for a membership site, and I'm thinking of doubling it based on what my offer now is.
Yeah.
So my original plan was £9.95 a month, or 97 for the year. This is all in pounds. And I'm pretty much thinking of doubling that. On the principle that, I'll come to that. The plan was to offer a 7-day trial for £1, so you get full access for £1. If you take the 7-day trial, you get a DVD through the post worth £97, which is got a load of Camtasia tutorials on there which are recorded, which is basically about, you know, it's an introduction to the internet, if you like, because, you know, that's my target market. So yeah, that's a free DVD. It comes through the post. Whether or not you continue subscribing after your 7 days, you still get that DVD. You know, it cost me peanuts to send it, so the perceived value is good. If you do take the offer, you lock that price in for life. So if I do up the price at some point, I'm not sure how I'm going to work that, to be honest, because I'm thinking, you know, early bird discount, for example. I'm still working on that. What else was I going to offer? Yeah, 1 hour consultancy on the phone. Got a value on that of about £197. Yeah, that's about it.
Did you say pounds or
pounds? Yeah, sorry.
Is this purely for the UK market?
It's aimed at the UK market. I'm not going to limit myself to it, but it is. That's what it's aimed at.
Well, if you do go outside, you really should have it in dollars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So do you think? I mean,
An American, if he sees an offer in pounds, he just wouldn't.
Yeah.
You're excluding him straight away.
Yeah.
So you've got to make your mind up. If you're selling outside the UK, it has got to be in dollars.
What is this going to be about? The Excite Pro stuff, or?
No, this is purely affiliate marketing.
Affiliate marketing.
You know, just basically, yeah, when they're selling other people's products without having to develop your own.
Okay.
That's the whole idea of it. Again, I'm thinking about it now. I'm just thinking, what else can I add to it? And I'm thinking of throwing in some software whereby you can effectively set up your own websites to sell your own products if you've got them. I mean, you know, I could obviously throw in a load of free downloads with useless bonuses. But again, I just don't see the point in doing that. As you said, it's just you can't sell it, you can't give it away.
Yeah.
I guess what problem I'm having, I'm stuck in two minds as to whether or not just to do it purely on affiliate marketing or whether to include how to produce your own products as well. But I was thinking that should really be a separate membership site because it's a different niche. So I think for the moment, I'm just going to run with the affiliate marketing for the moment.
But on your membership site, you're just offering one level?
Again, that's something else I was thinking about. The way I try and, I've considered doing the 2-tier or maybe even the 3-tier. And I'll try and craft the best possible offer I can as being the top level, but then say, in the sales letter. But if you don't want all that, then you could have, just these few bits. But I'm wondering how to downgrade, the level of access they get and what to limit them to if they don't go for the main offer. That's my concern. I'm not sure how to do that. Because obviously I'm going to be adding, the content's going to be articles, it's going to be videos, it's going to be audio. But I'm wondering what to limit people to if they don't go for the full access.
Can I make just a quick comment about membership sites? And this is for anybody that's planning on doing that. What software do you envisage using?
It's all set up. I'm using Amember.
Right. Okay. Because I had a horror story when I first started with membership sites. This guy said to me, "Oh, use this software. It's great. It's better than this. It's better than that. It'll do this. It'll do that." And I tried it, and it was a disaster. And I'd got quite a way down the road, 6 months. And 6 months of content of a membership site is a lot to reverse and change over to somebody else. But change over I did, because it was a disaster. So, Amember Pro, is it Amember Pro?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tried and proven. But I went with something that wasn't tried and proven. I went on a promise, and that was a big mistake.
It's also cheap too.
It was cheaper. It was on that basis. You get what you pay for. So you need to be really careful. Tried and proven is the best way. John, what about your offer?
I've got it's a 100-page ebook on cross-stitch aimed at newbies and those that have just got a couple of years' experience. And the figure I had in mind was $37. And the three and a bit bonuses we've got. The first one is the one I'm a little unsure of. I've got 3 PD books, public domain books at home. Any one of those, I think, would give me a very nice 50-page report booklet. And then, as Trevor said, we've got 150 articles. Some of the articles most of them are very topical. I could easily put some of those together as a bonus, for bonus one. A lot of the feedback I get from the forums is that we've got members from all around the world, and there are 2 real main thread manufacturers. And of course, you get somebody in South Africa saying, "I can't get a hold of this. Does anybody know of an alternative?" And I've got some charts that would make a good booklet. There's about, I think, 14, 15 different thread manufacturers around the world with comparison charts. So if you got 1,001 of DMC, it's the same as, 150 on Madeira. Same shade, same everything else. So that would make quite a good bonus number 2, and it would be well received. Bonus number 3, as Trevor said, about the 30-day free trial. And I thought about an unannounced bonus would be, say, 20%, 25% discount off a hard copy signed by the author.
When you say unannounced, you mean to offer that in your autoresponders or in the PS?
In the PS.
Well, it wouldn't be unannounced, would it? It would be one that you hadn't mentioned.
Calling it when you don't announce it
Well,
before
effectively, it's right at the end of the sales.
Yeah,
so-
it's something you never mentioned in the sales copy.
Oh,
yeah,
right, okay.
yeah, that's good. That sounds great.
Yeah. But ultimately, with this, what do you want? You want them to really sign up as members, don't you?
Oh yes, that's the ultimate.
So you know, test the pricing on that. And getting back to you, when I first set up a membership site, you know, a few years ago, I had 2 levels. Then I did offer 3. I had a 67 per month and a 97 per month. And obviously, there's trigger points in those offers. I only added the 27 later on. But this is how I got around the you know, the price point. The 97 worked out at what, $1,164 per year. So what I said is, if you want to prepay for 12 months, right now, there's some additional bonuses yet again, and then after that 12 months, you'll only ever pay a $67 per month figure. Okay. Gave them a reason to part with the loot all up front. Beautiful. Worked well.
That's good.
Okay.
So what was the difference in the price bands?
Well, $804 per year as opposed to $1,164.
Content-wise?
Content-wise, there's just a lot more value in there was the dearer package, but I added more bonuses yet again that they would only get if they prepaid.
Miranda, what's your offer?
Checklist of the person really trying to find out if they are really ready to sell their house. That's paper version, and then there's one on audio as well, and a mind map with ideas for them to help them to research if they do really want to what to do next stages.
That's a good idea. That's a good
And
bonus.
a blank sheet as well, so that they just use mine, something to go off on as ideas, and an unannounced introductory bonus for the first month. But then they get tied into that price if they take it up.
Excellent.
But I'm kind of still playing with it at the moment.
Sure. It takes a bit of crafting, but you're on the right lines. Wayne, what about your offer?
You're going to pick on someone else?
I'm going to pick on everybody. You're all right, no exception.
It's your moment.
After all, you do want a set of these DVDs, don't you?
Okay, the product that I've got is this. In 72 hours you'll have a website, product, money in the bank and a system to go on earning money. And the bonuses I'm going to use for that will be the benefits to the site, which I've got to put, this is what I've come here for really. It's easy to copy, you start right away, you work from home, improved lifestyle, no boss, no Monday mornings. Bonus 1, 2 CDDs, listen and copy. Value of £97, 2 hours, bonus 2 DVD, which is a DVD. So the second bonus is greater than the first bonus. So you've got the hook, then you've got the cuddle, and then you've got the font, which is the DVD. I made this up, but how to make a million starting on the internet on Shoestring, and I valued that at 137 quid. The whole pack to get started is £87, and that's kind of where I am. But I don't know what a blog was 10 days ago.
No, you're getting there. That's good.
If you've actually, you've read your offer out already, start literally doing that there, really refining it right down, what your product is, bang, 1 DVD or training video, get descriptive of what it is. Don't just call it a DVD or a training video. Get a benefit within the title of what it is. It's a 23-page manual or 100-page, whatever. Say it's 100. Describe the actual product, then put your value on it. You want to basically know product, price, bang, total.
Sorry. Has anybody got any experience on this, on the training, on the copy? You see, I don't know about other people. Sometimes I find it difficult to relate to the gent over there that's typing everything in. I like to write things down, and I print things off and I read them, and I find that easy. Maybe because I'm learning, but I find it easier than I do on the screen. Do these printed copies, has anybody tried these where you have an 87-page or a 37-page workbook as a bonus rather than a CD or a DVD. Is there any weight in that product versus a CD or versus a DVD?
I'd say it's a good idea. Yeah, I've never tried it, but I think it's a good idea.
I mean, I'm just thinking, a point that I learned off you guys earlier on was when you said something, we were talking about the $87, and that's how I got off into spins, but I've lost it now, but somewhere it said about the rebranding. And if one idea doesn't work, you do another one. So let's say, for example, I went to the market with a 72-hour idea, and for some reason I measured it, and after 3-6 months it wasn't working. I then rebranded it slightly and put the workbook in instead of a DVD. And by that, you test, don't you, and over a given period, you're going to find one common denominator between everything that's going to work, hopefully, for the marketplace, assuming you're using the same like-for-like market. And I just wondered if anybody had any evidence of whether the workbook would look better than that. That's all.
No evidence, but you've said it yourself, test.
Yeah, okay.
Helen, your offer.
Okay, it's geared towards women that are time poor at the moment, wanting to either get out of corporate life or they're bored housewives that need to supplement their income. There's 2 CDs with full transcripts, 90 minutes in total, which outlines how they can start a business from next to nothing, capital outlay, from home. They can start it part-time if they need to, or full-time straight away. The first bonus is actually one of Ted's copywriting DVDs taken from one of the boot camps, which basically goes right the way through.
I take it you have the rights for that,
yes,
do you?
I do.
Right, good.
Then there's a second bonus, which is sort of all about internet ABC, so for someone that perhaps hasn't got any real understanding of it, which is an hour as well. That's by Brett McFall. Then there's a small book which teaches people how to deal with change. Now that's where I'm struggling, because the actual book is quite low price, but it's well known as sort of like one of the business books, only takes an hour to read, and that's what women struggle with, is actually dealing with the change. There's a resource CD that I've done all about networking for women, how to get extra support and things like that if they need it. And then I'm thinking of adding in a 1-hour consultancy phone call, just as additional support.
Fine.
But I don't know how many to limit that to.
And what's your back end?
The back end is some rights that I've got to some Randy Chirac stuff, basically a complete.
But you need to make those unique somehow, don't you?
Can't. The trouble with that, I can't do anything with that.
No, but you can add something to it.
I think the licence is quite restricted on that.
Yeah, that's a good point. The licenses that you buy, a lot of them are very restrictive. When I offer a license, you can do whatever you like with it, basically.
And I don't offer them anymore.
You don't, no,
because of guys like you.
I have not modified your product yet.
You can't modify it.
I know I can't, so I don't. But the licenses, if I offer, say, resale rights to one of my packages, I want people to be able to break it up if they want to, because the components can be sold by themselves, or they can do it a lower version. If they want to add value to other products, they can. So if you do buy rights to anything, make sure you're not totally restricted, or if you are restricted, whether you can actually sell it.
I reckon I could probably add some more time of my own built into that, which, I could probably get away with that.
We had a lady, this is just for information by the way, we had a lady at the public domain workshop, and her product was What Makes Women Buy, and it was a public domain book.
Right.
I think you know who I mean, Sheila. I don't know if she's done anything with it, but something on those lines would make a good bonus. Sheila.
I'll talk to you about public domain stuff.
Yeah, if we get time, I'll very quickly run through it, but we're overrunning on this.
We're over on this by a long time, but it's important,
but it's important.
We'll make it up.
What's your offer, Sheila?
Well, what I said before, it's an e-book, how to find it's going to be how to find a nanny in the UK, because I realised that I can't look at America in terms of all the legal aspects and so on of contracts of employment, and it would just be too much. But if I do it also for expats, you know, because there are an awful lot of Americans, Australians, New Zealand, you know, people coming into the UK, so it will help them to find childcare in this country.
Is your market big enough? Have you researched that?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Does you mean that's your idea, or have you actually researched it?
I've looked at it. It's difficult because an awful lot of it is sort of American based. I don't think there's an awful lot of advice or help for people actually in this country other than in agencies, recruitment agencies and that kind of thing, you know, who specialise in finding childcare. So I think there is a market for it. I don't know how I could... You know, there are websites that give advice for parenting and so on, but this is very specific, you know, and this goes through the process step by step by step. And
okay, that's good. So what's your offer then?
So that's the basic book. Additionally, giving, as I said, pro formas of all the forms that I talk about. They'll be within the book sort of as samples, but then I'll give additional blank ones that they can just sit and write, okay, this is what we need to look for, you know, and so on, with a contract of employment that they can just fill in with all the legal bits added as well. Lifetime updates. And yeah, I'd have to look at those I've got some public domain books, haven't I?
Yeah.
How children learn, that kind of thing. So I'd have to have a look at those and see if I can give one of those. But the other thing is that I've thought of doing is a report on maternity nurses. Maternity nurses look after newborn babies for a few weeks after they're born. And a lot of people think they need a nanny, whereas in fact that's what they need. So, or they don't know what a maternity nurse is. And I thought I could do an interview with one, plus a report on what they are and how to get them linked to agencies, and an interview, you know, little audio.
As a bonus.
That's a good point.
Yes.
In fact, this is appropriate to everybody. Interviewing an expert makes a superb bonus, and it's not difficult to find an expert. In fact, if you go to somewhere like Rent-A-Coder or Elance, find an expert to interview an expert. You don't have to do the interviewing even.
Or actually, I could do an interview with a nanny anyway, you know, or some kind of an interview with parents who've been through this process.
Would make an excellent bonus, yeah,
well.
it would. Okay, Richard, what's your offer?
Well, I've got an AB offer. I've got a gold package and a platinum package. The gold package is £97, and it's a product called The Secret Path to Wealth.
Is this for the UK market?
Yeah.
Right.
If I go into the US, it'll be an ebook.
Right.
And it'll probably be about 37.
Yeah.
That package.
And priced in.
This is just for the UK. So
Yeah. And if you did that, it would be priced in dollars, right?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. And I've priced, look, the gold package is £97, and the main product is Secret Path to Wealth. I've priced that at £147 on its own. The bonus is How to Become a Web Millionaire in 12 months, starting with zero money. And I've priced that at £197. And then the platinum package is £147. Isn't that right? 97 to 147.
Percentage wise, it's fine.
And this one's got exactly the same as but it's got a 1 year subscription to a newsletter called the Utopian Wealth Papers, which is basically more advanced stuff than what to get in those two.
Is that your newsletter?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
What value do you put on that?
147 for a year's
Subscription, okay.
And that's just more advanced on what I was getting in the gold package. And then there's, instead of just one bonus, there's 3 bonuses. There's bonus number 1 is business tips with a multi-millionaire, an interview with 86 pages, 47 quid I valued that at. Bonus number 2 is a program called Page. I've created called Page Seller, and you just answer questions about your products, and it ping some HTML that you just slot into eBay or a web page or whatever, and it just presents any product. It's not like a sales letter, because it's like for items. that need photos and stuff. But anyway, there's that, and that's valued at 67, which probably is a bit much. One's done a 301 more instant business, 101 more instant internet business site. A bit of a tongue twister, that one.
Business ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it's a tongue twister, change the title.
Shall I? You know what?
Yeah, sounds like
and I've
it.
valued that at 47, and I've got an unannounced bonus for later of a 1-year mentoring program. What do you think for that? Forget it.
Time. I personally wouldn't know.
A critique.
Critique is okay. Mentoring, you opening up a can of worms, I think.
Yeah, right.
More of a back-end product, I would say.
Right. That's it.
Very good. Matthew?
My product is an 89-page manual, Learning Spanish in Your Sleep. That's the main product. I've valued that at $39.97. I've got 3 bonuses. The first bonus is Understanding Sleep Cycles. So subheads to that are why sleep's important for memory, and also why you shouldn't ever use an alarm clock. So that's the first bonus. I value that at $9.97. Second bonus is $9.97.
Bit cheap is that. I'd go at least 19 or even 27, something like that.
Okay.
One thing too, when you're working your prices on your bonus, you're all sort of familiar with the trigger point being a 7. You want to end in a 7. Don't make all your bonus values end in a 7. You look like a dork. That's the polite version. Mix up your numbers. It might be 17. It could be 23 or 123 or 176. You want to get the end figure ending in a 7.
So maybe the sale price would be ending in a 7, but the bonus, the value.
Some of your bonuses can be in a 7, but not all of them. It just looks like you might as well do it at 99. That's a minor thing, but it's a major thing when someone's looking at your site. Sorry.
All right. So I'll put that bonus at $27.97.
Maybe 23 or something like that, but definitely above the 9.97. It's too cheap.
Okay. Second bonus is general memory tips. How to achieve more results with less effort. So there are ways of timing when you do your memory techniques to get more back.
Yeah, okay. What's
so
the value on that?
$19.97. I've got a surprise bonus at the end for the PSs, which is a fine-tuning tips. Because it's to do with learning when you're sleeping, there are...
How many tips?
5.
Can you come up with any more?
I probably could, yeah.
Magic number 7.
Right.
Could there be 17? Could there be 17 easy tips?
Yeah.
Okay. If any of your bonuses, and there's a certain, there's like 23 bullet points in there, or 23 reasons why, spell it out in your actual bonus. Your bonus still requires compelling copy.
I was going to put as an additional bonus advanced Spanish phrases, but I think I could put that as an upsell for an extra $19.97.
Yeah.
So the first one is basically 200 words to get you going. My market is people are too busy to go to Spanish lessons. They go on holiday, they don't want to look like a real idiot, so they want to have enough to get them going, but not, they haven't got time to do great stuff. But equally, if they have got a bit more time, they could do 500 words. I'll go and put an extra $20 on that for $19.97 as an upsell.
Can I ask a question? Do you speak any Spanish?
I do, yes.
Oh,
Not great, but my wife is fluent in Spanish.
Oh, right. So
her first language is Spanish.
You've got a great advantage there.
Yeah.
I like that. It's good.
So are you happy with your offer? Is it going to blow them away?
I'm a lot happier now than when I first came, yeah. Because I now know who I'm aiming for. People haven't got the time to go and do lessons, but they don't want to look a right idiot when they go on holiday.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good profile,
it's
actually.
Perhaps a bit more tuning, but yeah, I'm fairly happy with that.
And it's $37?
$39.97.
Sounds cheap.
It is cheap.
I would have charged more,
Yeah.
personally, because with Spanish lessons, this nearly everyone wants to learn English, Spanish or French.
Yeah, well, I picked that language because on Google that just blows all the other language out of the water.
Well, you've got the whole of
So what you want to do is
half of America,
you want to try
right?
and create an apples to oranges comparison. Okay, so at your price point,
Yeah, the
right?
Pimsleur one is like $200.
Sorry.
The other course I looked at, there's some of them are $200.
Yeah. So you want to when people look at your offer, they don't want to compare apples to apples or compare it to that. Well, let's say if you took private Spanish lessons one-on-one, what would that cost you per session?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I did
I don't
it a
know,
few years
actually.
ago, probably about 8 years ago. I used to have private lessons, and that was 25 quid then
Right.
for an hour.
So what you want to put into your copy is say, look, it might take you 8 sessions at 25 quid one-on-one. It's going to cost you X amount of dollars, or X amount of pounds. But here you can get it all for $37.97. You know.
77 sounds a good price actually, if you give the value.
But you also want to plant in their mind when they're reading it that if they took private lessons, what that's going to cost them. I don't want to spend a couple of hundred or 300 and get it all for whatever your price point happens to be. Okay.
Brendan, what about yourself?
I'm going to continue to work on one of our products which I've aimed primarily at the US market, at homeowners who want to tidy up their place or paint this or paint that and save themselves a whopping big bill from the contractor, maybe a few $1,000s.
The DIY one
Yeah.
market.
We can do this thing themselves, which is very simple. So I've already tested the product over the last 3 months at $19.97 and $29.97 with small shipping, big shipping, and it keeps on moving. Even as I put the price up, it didn't make any difference. So on the basis of what I've heard so far here, I'm going to offer 1 can of this stuff. I'm going to test a name on Google AdWords because I haven't come up with a name that I'm happy about.
You mean like a trade name kind of thing?
A name that nobody else can
Sure.
use, so to be absolutely unique.
Are you going to register that?
Yeah,
Good.
there'll be no apples and apples then, you know, because it will be totally unique.
Okay.
So I'm going to offer 1 can if you order before with this little moving thing maybe. $49.97. Offer 2 cans at $87 with free shipping. And
What does a can cost you?
about $12 landed in Chicago because I had to move them over from here. And
So it's 87 plus shipping,
no, including,
including shipping. Okay.
because I can ship it anywhere in the US for about $9 or $10.
Okay.
UPS. Offer a 5-year guarantee because I know from selling the stuff over the last 7 or 8 years, the paint doesn't come off when you use this stuff, so no worries there.
Good.
And on a B offer, with the, coming in at the PS, if somebody goes for the B offer, I will offer them another product, which I asked you about earlier and you said not to do it, but my instinct says to do it. To offer them a product worth about $29, which they will find absolutely fantastic. Do a big sell on that, on a little extra page, and offer that as part of the overall package, if they go for package B.
Well, definitely test it, but it sounds like you've done your homework.
That's the plan.
Good.
So you're saying $49 for a tin that will replace what someone could do for $2,000?
Essentially, they have to get someone in to do the job.
The problem he may have, if he, you know, the problem is it's still a tin of paint. It's still a tin of paint, isn't it, effectively?
No.
The product will.
No.
Does it go on before the paint?
Yeah.
But effectively, it's still a tin.
Yeah,
It's going to have a certain value. You couldn't sell that same tin for hundreds.
It's not available anywhere, the product. If you want to paint any shiny, smooth surface, you've got to spend a lot of time scratching it and
Therefore,
grinding it.
at 80, what do you say for 87?
2 cans.
2 2 cans.
1 can for 47.
Okay.
Ooh, different man.
Cheers.
You know that.
What was that mean? I prefer him with the hair, actually.
Women will do that. Women will do that too. Test your point really on your price of your initial can, right? How many do you think you would sell at 47? How many do you sell at 47? Like one-offs. The reason I'm saying is you may be able to put the price or the value because of what it does up higher. 1 is 67, 2 for 97. Okay. Diane.
Still racing. A tiered offer. I'm not sure if you've got A and B, and I don't know if a 2-tier is the limit, or if you can have a 3-tier.
Yeah,
You
A, B,
can have a
C.
3-tier, definitely no more than 3. It's just 2 people go, which one do I
I
pick?
thought with 3, the common thing would be to go for the middle option, and I don't know if that's...
No, you want them to take the dearer option.
Yeah, okay.
If you trigger it properly, let's say it's 27, 67, 97, you want them to take the 97 as a majority.
Okay. So
You don't want them taking your middle offer.
Okay, so the entry-level offer is to sign up for the e-commerce system. 30-day trial for $3.95. The value of that is $79.
Yeah.
Bonus is free training videos which are online, but I wonder if it might be worth burning to DVD and sending them something in the mail as well. Don't know if there's any benefit to that.
Okay, when they come through the cart, you get the full details anyway, don't you? So therefore, I personally wouldn't send it out.
No, there's no benefit.
I'll tell you what you could do there, and I know this is a lot of work, but it's just an idea. Create your own DVDs.
Yeah.
Or Camtasias.
Your own Camtasias.
Yeah, I have to do that. I've been doing that for obviously the rebrand. And I don't know if it's any benefit to send them a physical copy of that in the mail or just take them to the same download page.
I personally, I wouldn't. I don't see the need for that at this point in time.
No.
Because you've got all that data anyway. The reason you would generally try and offer or have some bonus that you ship is to get the full name and address,
Yeah, which I have anyway.
which you've got anyway. So I personally wouldn't go the expense.
However, people do like to receive things, don't they?
They do.
And they're more apt to want to watch if they've got the physical CD.
But you're talking about it in your lower end product, aren't you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it for the low end.
Not for the low end, no.
Okay.
Does that not... Have you got a back end on this?
Well,
I'm just thinking of a trust point here, you know, the gain in the trust. So if
Yeah.
you're looking at the back end.
She's got potentially a lot of back end which she hasn't worked out yet.
yeah.
And that's going to be very expensive.
But if you've got something you weren't expecting through the post,
What you've got to be careful on online, and Peter makes a valid point, but to a degree I'll disagree. Okay, you want people to sign up for your stuff online any time of the day or night, whether you're there or you're not. Okay, if you've done the job in your copy and offer exceptional value, a download version is fine. You can always do the physical delivered product as an upsell.
okay.
Okay, that was my first product I created, but I took the audios from that as a download version from Magic Word Cell. Okay, that was the first product, but now I'm actually revamping. I did another a copywriting blueprint teleseminar about 18 months ago, which is 10 hours of just on copywriting, which sells for $197 hours a download. I've actually now revamped that package, revamped the teleseminars. I'm going to sell a delivered product to my market. But initially, I don't think you need to do it.
No.
The trust's going to be there anyway.
And also, what I found is a number of the customers who, for one reason or another, don't continue doing anything with their website, the value of that customer is only $3.95.
Yeah.
Because they don't resubscribe afterwards.
What percentage-wise don't resubscribe from the $3.95? Do you know?
Quite a high number, I've noticed. And I mean, it's early days with it, but higher than I would have anticipated. So I need to look at that, work on that, and how I'm communicating with them during that trial.
Yeah, we can talk about that sort of in other sessions, you know, when we're finished. But you've got to address that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next level is what I believe there's a need for to set the system up for the client. They get the 30 days trial for $3.95. I can set up an autoresponder series for them. I can set up the products for them. And I can set up an upsell offer. And it's knowing where to draw the line. I mean, I can set up their merchant account to process their payments. But I thought that the basic, certainly an autoresponder series, many people use the system for that and only that. So, I mean, I could set that up, and the value I would put to doing a very basic series of emails. But then it depends if they provide the copy. If they want me to write them, it's a whole different.
What's the name of your system, Diane?
Totalbusinesssystem.com.
Everyone get that? Totalbusinesssystem.com.
So at the moment when I'm working with a client, it involves a consultation to determine their needs specific to their business, and we take it from there. So the actual we do it for you is not broken down into steps like this, where I can automate and outsource most of it. I'm actually doing the technical work. So I want to break that down into a basic package of, we set up an autoresponder series for you, limited to 10 messages. We set up products for you, limited to 5. A bonus could be, we'll send you a Camtasia on how you can continue to add your products. If I can film while we're setting up the products for that individual customer, therefore they can continue to do it in their own time. So that's more valuable than a generic video. But somewhere in there, excuse me, somewhere in there I would like to offer an option for working on the website, either as part of totalbusinesssystem.com or just a recommendation, because many people come to me who want the e-commerce, but they're not yet at the stage where they've got a working website, and it could be a basic mini site with a single downloadable product. So there's a need there that either I currently address by doing the website, or I outsource and have it done for them. So is that something that we could include as part of that offer?
My gut feel, I'd like to actually look at it laid out, would be to offer basically a 30-minute consultation, basically, where you can actually really find out what they want, where they're at. So then you can put a proposal for separate projects.
Yes, that's what I do at the moment.
But I would include that consultation as one of your bonuses, because they're not getting it elsewhere.
No, it's true.
From there you can make assumptions and get back-end sales and back-end products, or do their website depending on what they need.
Yeah.
So what are you going to sell that package for?
I thought $997. It's worth about $1,000. Obviously there are variables.
So 997. With what you're offering, to me, sounds like a good deal. As long as your copy spells it out.
Yeah, basically what you're offering is a complete e-commerce system, isn't it?
Yeah.
And setting it up and doing all the work for them.
Yeah.
So it's outsourcing at its best, isn't it?
Yeah.
People want to be on the web. They've got this product, but they don't really know how to do the mechanics of it. You're offering to do it all for them.
Now, could you, depending on your time, break that down into like monthly payments?
I could do a subscription type model. Yeah. Yeah, and it also would allow me to offer more value on a regular basis in terms of general marketing, how to get the best out of the system and how to apply that could be a bonus, like it's 52 tips or whatever you want, but I can put that in one place as opposed to sending it out to individuals.
Yeah, that's good. You've all done very well. It wasn't an easy exercise, was it? And realistically, you still haven't finished it, but we're going to have a coffee break now, a tea break, but that session went double time, but we can pinch the time back. It's okay, but it's important to really mull over, even discuss amongst yourselves in the break about your offer and some ideas, because realistically, you sort of got your offer, you want to detail what your product or service is and put a value on it. Do this simple exercise. Put your total value, okay, your price, you save. And list your bonuses out as well.
Remember what we said yesterday? We said, when you've got a price, offer a discount, but give a reason why you're giving the discount.
We'll come over the other sessions, but for now, and look at it and go, yeah, is that worth the value? So one of the times I do is I'll put the bonuses in here. So put the total value, you save, bang. Or I'll do a table. If I'm doing an AD offer, which I do a lot, I've got a physical table. So I still spell out in words what the offer is and what the bonuses are and the value, but then I summarise it. Someone can just look at that table and see the options. Bang. It's clear, it's crisp, it's easy to read. And you want, when anyone reads your copy, to make it easy for them to read. The average literacy age of people, predominantly across the globe, is of a 12-year-old. So if you can't give your copy to a 12-year-old and they can understand it, predominantly you failed to go back and rewrite it and numb it and dumb it down to simple words. Just because you may be smart, the person reading the site may not be. The average reading age is of a 12-year-old. Really understand that concept, whoever you are targeting.
Doesn't that depend on who you're writing it for? Who your target market is?
The average age is of a 12-year-old. If you assume you think they're all bright and can understand it, you will cost yourself sales. Somebody may have certain degrees or whatever, still write it that a 12-year-old can understand it.
What it means is you're writing
powerful words.
You're writing simple sentences, simple words. That's basically what you need to do.
Right.
No fancy words. You're not out to prove how clever you are. Just simple words.
Because what happens, okay, let's say you've got a sentence, part of your copy, I'm going to write. You've written it out and you put some big word in there trying to impress yourself or think it's going to impress them, and that person gets that word and they go, I don't know what that means. If they think for a second, they may be dumb or that you're taking the mickey out of them, off or in the bin. So just whenever you write, and it's actually, I think it's on your, it's in Word, you can actually do a test. It'll tell you what the average reading age of your document is. Sorry?
Fog index.
Fogging dicks.
Fog index.
I don't know what he said. Sorry. What is it called? Sorry.
It's called the fog index.
The fog index. Yeah, okay, we'll use it.
The shipping forecast.
That's it. I don't use it. I just know how to write it that way. But for yourselves, by all means, use the tool. Run it through. Because you make that assumption that your market's smart enough to understand, and that assumption will bite you, and bite you hard. It's like, you know, if you go into Google, when you're like doing a keyword search, you find common words are misspelt all the time. A lot. One of my friends in America has got a site, and he found for the weight loss program that surgery was spelled incorrectly, S-U-R-G-U-R-Y. Alright? Now that's incorrect, isn't it? Now when he did his word tracker and he did his keyword analysis, he found there was enough people per month typing into Google, or typing in the search engines the misspelt way. So he grabbed the domain name for that search with the misspelling, put up a simple one-page website and misspelt that word every step of the way through the one page. Gets free traffic. Okay? People are typing it, grab the domain.
And the same applies if you do Google AdWords as well.
Yeah. Everything the way they typed it was how he worded it on his website. It's free money. So look for common misspellings within your niche or your industry or your target market. Do your research.